Hi, I'm Gary Foreman of the Dollar Stretcher.
I'm Shane Tripicone with bestprepaid.debitcards.com.
And today we're going to answer a question from Carolyn that she sent in to ask the Dollar Stretcher. She writes, "Hi Gary, I'm trying to work a budget and would like to use an envelope system, but I don't want to withdraw cash to put it in envelopes and then have to redeposit it in checking to pay online when it is due. I do 98% of my banking online, and all my paychecks are direct deposit into checking. Is there any way to just leave it in the bank, but also be able to separate it into categories? Be able to just transfer from checking according to what is budgeted for that week or month into each category, and be able to see the total of how much is already saved in each category? Thanks, Carolyn." Carolyn, you ask a very good question. And you're obviously coming off the old envelope system, and that's one that had been used for decades by people trying to keep control of their budget. And for those who don't know, you'd for each category of your budget, for instance, food, clothing, entertainment, you'd have a physical envelope. And say you were allowed $100 a month for groceries, well, you would put $100 in your grocery envelope, take that with you to the local A&P, and when you ran out of money, well, that's when you quit spending money on groceries. And so it was a great way to control your spending. And that now, in the virtual world, it becomes a little more difficult. And I guess the first question I'd have is your purpose: to control spending or to keep track of it? If it's to control spending, then you probably either want to use a debit card where you have absolute control and you can't overspend beyond that debit card, or to continue to use an envelope system, because that will prevent you from overspending. Now, if you're just trying to keep track of it, then there are many apps available for your phone, for your desktop, that would solve the problem for you. Shane, what kind of debit cards could Carolyn use?
There's a few different debit cards that offer some really good, what they call sub-account features or sub-card features. One of them, probably the best one in terms of fees, is the Bluebird card from American Express. And that one is just about a fee-free card and is readily available at Walmart stores, retail stores, for services such as deposits, loading cash onto the card, and you can find the card at the Walmart stores. The only downside on the Bluebird is that it's American Express that is not accepted at all vendors or all retail establishments. That's probably the only downside. But other than that, the fee structure is great. And if you know that most of the places that you're going to go to accept the American Express card, that's probably the one that I would recommend the highest. There's a couple of other cards. There's called the Contour card by US Bank. If you have US Bank branches nearby, that's a good place to look out for a card. And it also has the sub-account features. So just to back up just a second, as far as the sub-account features, it's kind of like an electronic envelope system. So you have one master account, and then you can have 4 or 5 sub-accounts depending on the card. And the sub-accounts allow you to give them to another person and put their name on it. Even some places may even let you label them as grocery or entertainment or something along those lines. But it allows you to put in a deposit separate amount. So if you want to put in $100 for entertainment or $400 for groceries or whatever amounts you may be, you can move the money into those sub-accounts and then track it. And then when it gets down to zero, then that card will no longer work.
Very good. So actually, so you can use it for control just like the old envelope system then.
Yes. You can use it just like the old envelope system. It's just a digital version of it. Then there's also another card, the Akimbo card, that also does that. And again, you can have multiple card accounts or sub-accounts with that as well. The Akimbo and the US Bank Contour card are going to have the higher rate of acceptance because they're using like Visa and MasterCard. But the one downside there is that you have to pay for each sub card that you set up. That's just a one-time fee. It's either $4 for US Bank or $5 for Akimbo. So for each sub account you set up, you're going to have a $4 or $5 fee But other than that, there's no additional monthly fees or anything like that with those cards.
A little more expensive than a number 10 envelope, but still not something that would keep you from doing it. Well, Carolyn, we hope this helps answer your question. You can find those credit cards, or debit cards rather, available on bestprepaiddebitcards.com. That's Shane's home site. You can find me on thedollarstretcher.com, and we'll have links to both. And we want to thank our viewers for watching this episode of Ask the Dollar Stretcher. And if you like this video, please feel free to share it with your friends and give us a thumbs up so that other people can find it a little more easily. If you have a question for Ask the Dollar Stretcher, you can send it to me via email, Gary@stretcher.com. That's Gary@stretcher.com, and we'll try to answer the best ones in future videos. Thanks again for being with us.